Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Friday, December 13th, state Stephanie Johnson was astonished to discover Philip Kyriakis in a towel when she arrived for a meeting. Philip apologized since he anticipated a fast workout before Stephanie came. Stephanie gave Philip information and discussed her PR work to help him once he put on clothes. Philip was still anxious about his chances in court, but Stephanie played up how much weight Victor Kyriakis' letter would have. Philip ultimately thought he should be honest about the letter, but then he chickened out and nearly pretended like it might not be enough. Stephanie valued Philip's attorney's case presentation most. Philip boasted about his lawyer, Ned Dickerson, being the greatest. Unfortunately, Ned contacted shortly later and quit, claiming he remembered working for Xander Kyriakis at Titan. It was a conflict of interest, so Ned was backing out the night before the trial. Philip fumed and suspected Xander since it was so handy. At the pub on Friday's Days episode, Sean Brady had Justin Kyriakis go over his divorce paperwork and got his consent. Justin also requested Sean to give a deposition on Xander's behalf, but Sean couldn't do that as he was cheering for Philip. After Justin left, Jada Hunter arrived and conveyed her condolences to Sean over Doug Williams' demise. Sean stated he was sober now and wanted to make amends, so he apologized for whatever hurt he did to Jada, Ray Fernandez, and Talia Hunter during his bad spell. Jada had compassion over the whole incident and asked Sean if he'd be willing to come back to the Salem PD. Sean seemed hesitant at first, but he ultimately decided it was time for a new chapter and accepted his old position again. Once Jada was gone on Friday's Days episode, Sean signed the divorce papers and took off his wedding ring. At the townhouse, Belle Black caught up with Brady Black, so she told him about her divorce and got updates on his upcoming date with Ava Vitali. Belle brought up Ava's questionable history, but Brady defended her a bit. Although Brady knew Kristen DiMera wasn't going to appreciate this, he felt that Ava could hold her own. Brady also mentioned his return to basic black, which Xander accepted as he felt sorry for blaming Brady for Sarah Kyriakis' disability. Belle was frightened as Brady related how Xander had tried to immobilize him on one occasion and take him out forever on another. In the town square on Friday's DOL program, Ava reprimanded Kristen for talking Brady out of going to the Nutcracker with Rachel Black. However, Ava claimed Brady asked her to go with him instead, so she figured she had Kristen to thank for that. Kristen ended up slapping Ava, who slapped her back and warned it'd take more than a love tap to scare her. Although Kristen recalled sending Sarah to the DiMera Island and how she came home batty, Ava wasn't terrified and begged Kristen not to meddle with her. At the DiMera estate on Friday's Days episode, Kristen ranted about how she could have Ava thrown in jail or buried with a phone call. After Kristen went to Stefano DiMera's painting, she asked if he had any ideas on how to get Ava out of her way. At the Kyriakis estate, Sarah discovered Xander working out, but he said he was preparing for war and played up the mind-body connection going into the courtroom. Justin returned with terrible news as Sean wasn't willing to help Xander, but Xander stated he still had a few tricks up his sleeve. Since Justin thought it was better if he kept in the dark, he took off. Sarah insisted on understanding the truth about the setback Xander caused for Philip. Xander explained that he bribed Philip's lawyer to quit and doubted anyone else would want to take the case the night before the trial. Back at the townhouse, Belle removed her wedding ring set before Philip showed up. Since Philip's old lawyer quit soon before he was set to go to court, he asked Belle if she'd be his new one. Days of Our Lives spoilers claim Belle's going to take the case soon enough, so we'll bring you more predictions on Philip's fight for control of Titan. Days of Our Lives spoilers recap for Wednesday, December 4th, revealed that Leo Stark overheard Steven Olsen talking to his grandparents' plaque and linked to the reformed path he was on. Steven joined Leo for happy hour, so they spent some time connecting about their murky history, including their common dabbling in fencing jewelry. At the Horton residence on Wednesday's Days episode, Jennifer Horton Devereaux and Marie Horton debated the lost diamond necklace matter with Lucas Horton and Sierra Brady Weston. Lucas speculated that Steven might have stolen the jewelry, and Marie certainly believed that was conceivable considering his habit of stealing diamonds. When Sierra and Lucas questioned Steven in the town center, Steven had no information about the lost necklace and said he was innocent. Lucas threatened to search Steven, who refused to let it and stomped off. Leo acted like Lucas and Sierra were hypocrites for jumping to conclusions about Steven. That led to Leo's memories about Lucas kidnapping his ex-wife, Sammy Brady, and Sierra marrying Ben Weston after all his fatal crimes. In the cemetery on Wednesday's Days program, Julie Williams was bewildered over Doug Williams' third comments about sharing a name with her husband. Doug said that he changed his identity and that he was actually the son of Douglas Dougie Leclerc, who was conceived via artificial insemination and eventually went by the name Charles. Since Doug III had lately been given a family history lesson, he discovered out Doug was his grandfather and wanted to pay his respects. Doug admitted that he just got out of jail after he got into some problems on the way to Salem. However, Julie was unbothered as she hugged Doug and immediately latched onto him as family. Although Doug planned to stay in a cheap motel, Julie insisted he would come stay at the Horton house instead. Once Julie took Doug home with her, she introduced him to Jennifer and Marie. Julie wanted to show Doug the time capsule and all the family artifacts, but Jennifer indicated they'd already put it away for safekeeping. Doug seemed shocked over the time capsule news and asked inquiries about it while Julie was upstairs getting his guest bedroom ready. Jennifer and Marie revealed that a valuable, emotional necklace was missing, so Julie would be distraught if she found out before they could get it back. Once Jennifer left to drive Marie to the airport, Doug moved over to the surrounding family photos and retrieved the missing necklace out of his pocket. It became evident that Doug had stolen the necklace from the house earlier. Upstairs on Wednesday's Days program, Steven went through the window again and revealed to Julie that it was time for him to go. After Steven urged Julie not to accept everything she heard about him, he took off. At the townhouse on Wednesday's DOL show, Sean Brady told Belle Black Brady some optimistic updates since Beau Brady clasped Hope Brady's hand. The physicians couldn't be sure exactly what that signified, but Hope was making positive predictions and feeling hopeful. Belle questioned if Sean would be able to let go of his guilt if Beau woke up, but Sean didn't seem so confident. There was a lot they still didn't know about what Beau's rehabilitation would look like. Sean claimed he was working on all that in treatment, but he was also starting to recognize that he couldn't be the same man he was before. Plus, Sean didn't think they could get beyond all the distance and trust concerns, so he felt it was time to end their marriage. Belle cried over still loving Sean and persuaded him to realize he still loved her, too. Even still, it seemed like it just wasn't enough, so Belle consented to begin the ball rolling on divorce paperwork. Belle ultimately told Sean to take care of himself and embraced him before he stepped out the door. Days of Our Lives spoilers suggest Sean and Belle will have to figure out their own distinct paths forward, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.